So my name is Bruno della Chiesa. I'm a European mixture of Italian, German, and French descent. I'm sort of French, but above all, a human being, I hope, of, say, European origin. I've been working as a diplomat, both bilateral and multilateral, for 30 years, and now I'm a visiting teacher here at Harvard Graduate School of Education. Now, given where I come from, I suspect that I was made sensitive to cultural and intercultural issues since the very beginning of my life. However, there was a turning point that I can identify up to now very clearly, and that was my time in Egypt back in 85, 86. I remember a friend of mine, Egyptian, Jesuit, addressing his compatriots, 200 of them, and telling them that if they want to know what Egypt is, they have to go. They have to leave. They have to go to Europe. They have to go to North America. They have to go to Latin America, Asia, whatever you want. And when they would come back, they would know what Egypt is, because a fish does not know what water is. That was for me an eye-opener. When I was in Egypt, I was definitely a foreigner. I was definitely in a different culture, in a culture that was alien to me, and that's the moment where I realized, or started to realize, what it means to be European/Western. My sense is that in our world today, which we like to call global or globalized, which I would like to call globalizing world, because actually it is not fully globalized, and of course the globalization level, if I may say so, or nature, depends for whom. Heard someone saying the world is global only to those who own it, and to a very large extent I suspect it's true. So anyway, in this globalizing world, what we all need, but to begin with our kids today, who will work and live in a more and more globalizing world, is first and foremost the potential to think outside the box. And the box I'm referring to here is what some people, including my old master Pierre Bourdieu, call the doxa. Whatever you take for granted, what is cultural in your identity or in your environment, or both, and that actually you consider natural because you don't think about it as something cultural. The water around the fish, if you wish. Well, obviously we are all human beings, so we all live in the same sort of water, but we have different waters, depending on where we come from, depending on where we live in. Now, the fact of the matter is that for many people who are, especially if they are monolingual and monocultural, it's extremely difficult to discover the doxa, the box outside of which it is so crucial to be able to think today. The very first condition to meet in order to think outside the box is actually to realize that there is a box. And if your doxa tells you that there is no box, that you have unlimited possibilities when it comes to thinking, then you do not look for the walls around you. And if you don't see the walls around you, you have no possibility, or very limited possibilities whatsoever, to break them. So when you start to learn a language that is not your mother tongue, the first thing you discover are the differences with your mother tongue or mother tongues, or the languages you know already. Same thing for a culture. When you're immersed in a culture that is not yours, the first thing that you see are the differences with your culture. And of course, it is not about denying these differences, or it's not about downplaying diversity. This is part of the richness of the wealth of mankind. However, after a while, the better you get at the language, the better acquainted you get with the culture that you are discovering, the more you notice the commonalities with your mother tongue or with your original culture. because suddenly you realize that the people around you, no matter what their language or their culture, they have a brain that basically works like yours, and that they have also acquired a language or several, a culture or several, and that they have used the same brain resources as you did in order to do that. And so, after a while, the commonalities seem to you as important as the diversity. French or European or whatever you want, or Western or whatever you want, we are all human beings with the same kinds of brains, and that allows for better understanding. This is what I think is one of the most important challenges for the education we are going to give to our children in the future.